Hello Longfellow Longhorns, this is Mr. Pizarnik, and we are currently in mid-April. We hope that you're having a great month so far. We're hoping that we're going to get a little bit warmer weather here in a couple of days. We're looking forward to that as well. I have a very special group of volunteer guests with me today. We've got third graders from Ms. Cottman's class. They are going to help me out with the broadcast today. Yesterday this group was fortunate enough to see a woodwind quintet from the Cedar Rapids Symphony Orchestra, and they did such a great job as an audience that I wanted to invite them back to help remind us of some of the kind of our assembly expectations that we have here at Longfellow. So they're going to help remind us of those this afternoon. I want to take just a minute to thank everyone who was involved in the carnival that took place here last Saturday. We are very grateful to all of our PTA members, our parent volunteers, our teacher volunteers, everybody who made different donations. We had groups from Texas Roadhouse and a number of other places that donated time and different items for the silent auction and things like that. We had University of Iowa students that came and helped volunteer in some of the game rooms. So we really appreciate everyone's efforts to help make that night successful. And most importantly, we want to thank all of the kids and their families who came out and supported Longfellow and hopefully had a good time on Saturday night. It was really a lot of fun, just like it is every year. So thank you to everybody who made that night so special. We really look forward to that, and thank you all. A couple of things that are coming up here in the near future. To begin with, many of you are aware, or maybe you're kind of in the end phase of taking care of doing some reading assessments and some writing assessments this week in your class. The writing part's going to come to a conclusion this week, and I think the reading part ends next week if your class hasn't finished it already. And then also just one other thing this week that we're really looking forward to, and I know this third grade group will be looking forward to it next year. We have our 4th and 5th grade classes are going to be on their way to Des Moines bright and early tomorrow morning. They're going to be heading there. They're going to see the State Capitol building, and they're also going to be visiting the Historical Society, their museum that is downtown in Des Moines. And so that group is really looking forward to the exciting trip and also representing Longfellow with their pride. We appreciate all their efforts to do that, and we hope that they have a great trip. Looking ahead to next week a little bit, just a couple of things that are going on. First of all, those students that typically ride the bus, so if you get to school or you depart school every day on the bus, Monday when your bus arrives, we're going to practice our bus evacuation drills. So that won't be for all of our students, but those kids that typically ride the bus, we're going to practice that. And then Monday night after school, we've got a special group from Longfellow, those people that are involved with the gardens outside, the raised beds. I know Mrs. Lucas is going to represent our staff there. They're going to be going over to public access, and they're going to be taping a piece kind of featuring Longfellow's garden and the activities that surround that. I know we've got a lot of students in classrooms, some parent volunteers that help out with that garden and everything that goes on with it. So we look forward to seeing them. They're going to be taping it on Monday night, but it'll be broadcast probably at a later date. So if you're flipping through and you get a chance to see them, it might be kind of fun to see some of your friends and future teachers, if Mrs. Lucas hasn't taught you already, get to see them on television. On the 22nd, that is a Tuesday, that's Earth Day, and we're going to be celebrating Earth Day here at Longfellow. Ms. Ackerson has an assembly, I think, planned, and we're also going to do a couple of activities just around the building to help celebrate Earth Day here at Longfellow. So we're excited about that day. Then Thursday the 24th, we might have something that teachers and parents might be interested in, and that is one of the final cluster meetings discussing the attendance area boundaries for Longfellows included in that discussion, and those are going to take place from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. On Thursday night, that's going to be over at Southeast Junior High on Thursday, April 24th. So just a reminder to our parents and staff that that might be something that you'd be interested in attending. And then we've got two really fun things going on Friday the 25th that we want to share with you. First of all, we're going to start out the morning on the 25th with an assembly. So another reason that I've got this group with me here this morning. The Colonel's Summer Reading Program, they're going to come and present to us at about 8:45 on that morning. We're really looking forward to that presentation. And then one that we're really super excited about is going to be Friday night, April 25th at 5 p.m. Our art show starts. That's going to be taking place in the gym. We are really looking forward to displaying all of our fine work. And we're going to have a special presentation this year. Our third grade class is going to be doing, we've got a special puppet show presentation that's going to start at 5:30. So we're looking forward to that. Those members that are going to participate, the third graders that are going to be in that show, just a reminder, we want you to show up, arrive there on Friday night. We want you to be there at 5 o'clock, about a half hour before that puppet show starts. So a lot of really exciting things coming here in the future. And those are some of the fun things that are going on in April, and we've got a lot more fun things that are going to be taking place during the month of May and even into that first week of June as we wrap this school year up. So some of those things that we're going to be doing involve some time together in large groups in the assembly setting and in our gymnasium, for example, or up in the library. And so that's the reason that I brought our third graders down here today. And these third graders, I want to really thank them. They gave up their recess time today to come and tape this with me, so thank you, third graders, in advance. Those of you that are watching at home, you will notice, or in your classroom, you'll notice that our third graders that are here right now are doing a few things that we really appreciate already. Most of them are sitting in body basics, so they've got kind of that crisscross applesauce that we talk about in kindergarten. They got their hands in their lap. Some of them are even got smiles on their faces. We appreciate that. We're facing forward, and you'll notice also that we're not talking to our neighbors right now. We're not interrupting Mr. Pizarnik, who's speaking to the group that's watching at home. So this group's really doing a lot of things really well. I've got a little bit of a test for this group, though. They passed the first part. They look good right now. They're doing a nice job. But I've got a few questions for them, and they're going to answer, without talking, they're going to answer some of these questions. So they're going to give me, we're going to do what we call a fist of five. So they're going to give me a 1. They're going to show me one finger if they think that that type of behavior is not really expected. It's not something we want to do at the assemblies. If they think it's something that we should be doing at assemblies, that's a way that's showing our pride and our respect, then they're going to give us a 5. And if it's somewhere in the middle, they might do something like a 3 or a 4 or something like that. But I think you'll see a lot of 1s or 5s today when they take this test with me, okay? We'll see what you think. We'll see what you think from your seat there in the classroom. So, third graders, you just got done with an assembly yesterday. It was a small assembly. We had just the 2 third grade classes. But yesterday we had an assembly, and it was kind of an interesting one because it was interactive. So the conductor from the symphony was here, and he asked some different questions to the class, right? Okay, so fist of 5. 1, not so good. 5, really good. When someone is presenting and they ask us a question, if Mr. Pizarnik would blurt out the answer, would that be a 1 or would that be a 5? What do you think? I think I would have to agree with our third graders. If you're watching the classroom, give them a round of applause. All right, third graders, nice job. Okay, Jack, what would be better than blurting out? What would be a good way to be able to have the opportunity to share your answer?
Raising your hand and then they call on you.
Okay, so raising our hand and waiting to be called on. Kind of like we do in the classroom. Jack, very nice job. We appreciate that. Okay. Sometimes when we are in assemblies, it's a time when we're by our friends, and maybe Mrs. Morgan, who's helping us tape today, maybe she's presenting and she's trying to talk to the group. If I was leaning over and whispering to Harry throughout that time when Mrs. Morgan's trying to talk and present, fist of 5, would that be a 1, not so good, or would that be 5? That'd be pretty good. All right. I think I agree with you. Yamro, what would be a better thing to do if I had something that I felt like I needed to tell Harry? When would a better time be than at the assembly, do you think?
After the assembly or at recess?
Maybe after the assembly, or saying something to him at recess. I really appreciate your help with that, Yamro. That's a great idea. All right. Let's see. Does anyone have a quiz question for Mr. Pizarnik as it relates to assemblies? Is somebody going to try and trick me? All right. Maybe I can get some help from everybody. Emmett, can you give me a question?
If you're not in body basics and you're laughing, you're like sitting on your knees, and
Okay.
that'd be a 1 or a 5.
Okay. So I heard the question right, Emmett. You said if you're at the assembly and you're up on your knees, is that an acceptable behavior? Would that be a 1 or a 5? Is that what your question was? You're not in body basics. You're up on your knees. I might need some help from my third grade friends. Can you guys help me out? If we're on our knees at the assembly, would that be a 1 or a 5, do you think? I think I have to agree. I'm gonna go with the rest of the group. Emmett, I'm gonna say that's a 1. Is that the correct answer? Emmett, why would I not want to be up on my knees if I'm at the assembly?
Maybe the person behind you cannot see the person who's talking.
Right. I think I've seen that happen a few times, and I think that really frustrates the people that are behind you. They have a hard time seeing when somebody in front of them is up on their knees. It kind of gets frustrating and takes away from the presenter and what they're trying to share with us. So, boys and girls, we've had kind of a long broadcast. This group has done a fabulous job of being an active and engaged audience. I appreciate that. If you notice, those people that are still watching, you'll notice that most everyone here is still in body basics. I don't hear anyone talking right now. They have really done a great job, so thank you to this group. If you are in your seat right now in your classroom, give this group one more round of applause, all right? I'm going to give them a round of applause. They did a great job. So, normally I would say to you at this point in the broadcast, we'll see you real soon. But I'm going to turn it over to this group, and they're going to give you something a little bit different. So I'll let the camera get on them, and then they're going to share something with you. You ready?